everybody to our AMSA senior night. So I just have a few introductory remarks. I have some thanks to give out, some congratulations, and a very, very, very brief historical comment I cannot resist. Talking about history. First off, a big, big note of thanks to Lynn McCluskey and Ann Richards, who were the two key people that organized tonight's event. Where's Lynn? I've seen, there she is, Miss McCluskey. So Miss McCluskey and Miss Richards have worked many, many, many long hours on this and many other things, and they both do so with a great sense of commitment and a great sense of humor as well. And they really make our school what it is. They are both absolutely pillars of our community, unsung heroes of our school, and their work is very much appreciated each and every day. So thank you very much. Second, also a big note of thanks to all of the teachers who have made this night possible and made the class of 2018 possible. Many of the teachers are here to give out awards tonight. Over the past several years, our teachers have experienced many ups and downs and many changes at AMSA since the class of 2018 first entered the school. But through all of these changes, our teachers never lost sight of the one thing that unites all of us, and that's the students in front of us. The passion, the dedication, and the joy that our teachers bring to the class each and every day has made this night possible. So a big thank you to our teachers. And one last really important note of thanks, and that's thanks to all of the parents out there. The parents of the class of 2018. Like our teachers, I know all of you have had doubtlessly many ups and downs since your kids entered our school. Long nights arguing over homework. Did you do your homework? Are you sure you did your homework?
No.
That never happened? I know all you guys did your homework on time all the time. It was never an issue. It's an issue in my house, I'll tell you. Waking your kids up early in the morning after the alarm has probably gone off like 15 times. Encouraging them when they did not do as well as they had hoped, amazed at their growth and their maturity, and so proud that they have finally reached this day, and the day of graduation, which is coming really soon. So from us to you, thank you for coming to AMSA, thank you for letting us educate your children, and thank you for being endless sources of love and support to your kids. So big round of applause for the parents! And last but not least, a word of congratulations. Congratulations to our wonderful seniors. You have made it through many years of AMSA and are now about to embark on the next major stage of your life. And tonight, many of you will be recognized for outstanding work in a variety of subjects and for outstanding commitment to the values we cherish, values such as perseverance, leadership, and service. So a big round of applause for our seniors. And last but not least, my very brief historical comment. Everyone should have their program, and on the program you will see there's a quote there from the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. The time, Dr. King stated, is always right to do what is right. The time is always right to stand up for justice, for equality, and for dignity. That is what Dr. King stood for. And now all of you, AMSA seniors, the amazing class of 2018, have the opportunity to go into the world and to do what Dr. King did. And we are all so incredibly proud of you. Next up on the program is Amelia Marceau. She is the senior president. Last year, I had the good fortune to teach Amelia for several months in U.S. history, just for about 4 months. I also had the privilege of working with Amelia during the planned student walkout in March. And I can attest to the fact that she has so many amazing qualities. She is hardworking, she is brave, she takes risks, she's incredibly kind. Above all else, what has always impressed me about Amelia when I've seen her in school is her incredible ability to make friendships with people who disagree with her. Like profound political, philosophical disagreements. She's able to make friends with people like that. And that's what we need in our country today. She's a wonderful student, she is a leader, and Amelia, whenever you decide to run for president, you have my vote. Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm not so tall. When I came to AMSA on that life-changing August day back in 2011, I had no idea what to expect. I knew a few people from my hometown who were coming to AMSA as well, but besides that handful, I barely knew anyone. It was an intimidating idea to have to make new friends, to be going to a new school, out of my comfort zone. And on that first day, I sat quietly in classes with big wide eyes as syllabus after syllabus landed on my desk. It was the first look I got at all of you. Many of our grade did not make it past that first year. The tough academics and the uniforms seemed to turn people off almost immediately. But those of you sitting here today are a testament to the perseverance kids at AMSA have. Yes, it was a harder school. Yes, we had hours of homework and sleepless nights getting things done while our hometown friends were already fast asleep. And yes, the uniforms weren't the most flattering. But we made it. This is the light at the end of a 7-year tunnel. We have been prepared by some of the most caring, compassionate, and educated teachers in Massachusetts. They have guided us to this point and given us more than enough tools to succeed in the big wide world. Without their dedication, who knows where we may have ended up. Scrolling through the Theta Class Destinations Facebook page, seeing where all of you are off to, I am only remembering those days back in 6th grade when we were awed by the passages of the Iliad and the Odyssey. Whether it's London for part of our freshman year, Nepal, India, or the Czech Republic, or even just across the country for college, the AMSA class of 2018 is going to be making their footprint on the world very early on. Our class has been one of the most united ones, and I've loved all of the color wars, and we celebrated in the school spirit we exuded. We really are incredible. I'm going to miss the moments of laughter and of hardships, struggling through the calculus homework and writing all those research essays. But it was worth it. We're at the end of the tunnel. Let's take this final step together. We are now going to show you guys the senior slideshow that some of our students have prepared. Thank you so much.
Guys, can we all stand up and come so we can see? This is so cool. Are we going to sit in front of the screen?
That's why I love it, I love it, love it, I love it, love it, I love it. That's why I love it, I love it, love it, love it, I love it. That's why I love it, I love it, love it, I love it, love it, I love it. That's why I love it, I love it.
Look, my girl trippin' said I treat her like a groupie, but I never took a groupie out to eat. See, I've been ballin', I've been poppin', I've been bubbling, I've been buzzing in my city. Women love me, think I'm pretty, and they confirm it whenever they see me in person. If I said it, I meant it, I said it on purpose. Don't sleep on that furnace, cause boy, we hot. and my job to make you think and make music that you feel. That these songs should make you sing. Oh, oh, oh. I guess we never know what we need to know, where we need to go. Everybody feel like I need you, I feel like they need to grow. Come on, hey friends, they call yo brand, yo bro. This ain't money, we an army full of generals. Here to push the envelope and change what they think. It's my job to make them think and make music that they feel. So these songs make them sing like. Where do you go? Will I ever know? Heaven only knows. Where do you go? Will I ever know? Heaven only knows.
Swap loving, I love it, love it, I love it, love it, I love it. Swap loving, I love it, love it, I love it, love it, I love it. Swap loving, I love it, love it, I love it, love it, I love it.
If I drop it, they gonna cop it. I might spend it out for profit. My conversations, but I am so proud of you. Like my beat statement, all of them. Keep my feet on the ottoman. I just might run for up and man, you got power too. Sweet that rap for the mention, and it's that sugary medicine. Fill up the intro. Jumping like checkers, clever like chesses, smoking like purpose, perfect like surface, deeper than circus. Races and nervous, we want this is fun. The circus is circus, it's starving like sharks, and just looking for surface. I'm not in the industry, not in the service, not in the retail, not in the I'm only beginning, behold magnificent. Rockin' black with his red head pressed, calling I'm impressive. You jump like cinnamon, you broke up in a minute. Jump that cinnamon, I serve it into
We would now like to begin the department awards. We would like to invite up the department chair of the Foreign Language and Art Department to begin, Ms. Sarah Preston.
Yes, señorita.
Good evening and congratulations to all our seniors. So the first award that I'll be giving out is for art. This student has an amazing gift for expression. She easily translates her creative imagination into an aesthetic work of art. Her talents, passion for her work, and distinct style put her at a professional level. She has proven herself as an excellent student and artist. This year's recipient of the Art Award goes to Sarah Holton. Next for the French Award. Despite not taking French his junior year, he had an easy transition into French 3 as a senior. He is a hard worker who actively participates in class and excels at cultural trivia. The French award goes to Will Hodge. This Latin scholar is receiving the award because she never fails to point out when an epic hero makes a speech to rouse his comrades or identify an anastrophe. She sets an incredibly high standard with her dedication, hard work, expertise in literary devices, and her unique sense of humor in the classroom. This Latin award goes to Serenity. And now Ms. Maria Arteaga will present the Spanish award.
Yes,
Good evening, everyone. I have it's like 3 pages long, but I've decided to just leave it to the minimum. This student's excellence goes beyond the classroom by taking the time to promote Spanish language and culture in various ways, in multiple ways. For instance, through the Spanish Club and the Spanish Honor Society. Taking AP Spanish this year, this student made sure to submit all assignments on time, and sometimes even before the due date, if this person wasn't going to be there. With a beautiful pronunciation and a beautiful mind to create and suggest activities to keep Spanish alive, and with plenty of guacamole. And enjoyable at AMSA, this year's Spanish award goes to Siobhan Guerra.
All right, we would now like to invite up Ms. Bandaru to present the Excellence in Computer Science Award.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations, all seniors. The AMSA CS department recognizes the individual students who made significant contributions to the AMSA community in various academic courses and extracurricular activities. Although I had a few students who had worked really hard and made significant contributions, this particular student stands out. This student is someone who believes deeply in an idea or a competition or a project, works towards the goal, and also motivates and helps others to see that it can be done in spite of a lot of obstacles. It is my pleasure to announce the award to Theresa Shea, who demonstrated the attributes of a true leader. She made many significant contributions through her academic work, community service, advocacy for the field of computer science, and her dedicated participation and leadership in many courses and CS clubs here at AMSA. Congratulations, Theresa.
Didn't read the specifications.
Invite Mr. Morris to do the engineering award.
Good evening. When I think back on previous recipients of the engineering award, I think of how they achieved in earning the award. Not just by the work that they've done, but the legacy that they've left behind. Whether it's been someone like Zarius, who set the bar as to what it means to have an extreme project for their senior year, or Gabe Koulibaly, who went above and beyond helping multiple different departments with what he could do in the engineering classroom with the 3D printers. This year's recipient took the long, hard way to get to the engineering class, staying after school way too many times, mostly to learn everything about the basics. This year's recipient also will be leaving their own legacy, as they've helped completely change how the Introduction to CAD class will be taught next year by not only creating PowerPoints and a little bit of extracurricular writing for the Introduction to Inventor itself. This year's Engineering Award goes to Paige Wattis. Next up for the Science Awards will be Miss J.
Like he does it on purpose. So the Science Awards are chosen in front of a committee because we have 2 Science Awards, one male and one female, and unfortunately we have lots of departments. Or sub-departments, sorry. So we sit down and we think about how we come to the conclusion of who would be best representative of the science department. And it comes from outstanding excellence in their 3 core subjects. And then anything else on top of that is gravy. It adds to the appeal and it makes it fun and we like to see you and the more you hang out with us, you know. That's where I come up with this. So, I'm speaking on behalf of a couple different people, so my voice and inflection will change, but this was a big group input. So here's the first one. See if you can guess. So I've had the students now for 2 years in a row, first in honors physics, then in AP physics. He's my most consistently enthusiastic student, always ready to do what needs to be done to figure out a new concept or to push through a tricky problem. He takes setbacks in stride, even with 15 to 20 minutes of struggling turns out to have been caused by a missing minus sign. We've all been there. His positive outlook and good humor also makes him an excellent collaborator and supportive group member. I can tell you that his classmates appreciate his contributions, and I've heard only good things about him from other teachers. So I was happy to put his name in the running for this award and bring him some public recognition. That was Mr. Stonebreaker, and that is what got Andrew See, this is a fun game. Okay. Next one. We are lucky to have so many enthusiastic science students at AMSA, but our female recipient this year has gone above and beyond in multiple areas. Not only has she been a top student in her many science classes, bio, chem, physics, AP Chem, organic chem, engineering, molecular biology research, she has also participated in extracurricular sciences in the form of Women of Science, AMSA Racing, and summer internship in the lab. Though I'm not supposed to mention something about a stick and a spoon, but was supposed to say that. I don't know, I just listen. Anyway. And as a research student, she is a student leader and a model. Next year, she'll be heading to Caltech, where she will be studying engineering, and we will miss her around the labs of AMSA. In addition to all of her accolades, the student is a model of positive character, a true AMSA Eagle. She has helped to define our science department, particularly in research, and is always there to lead the younger kids. That comes from Mr. Ben Giovanni and goes to Miss Julia Sloan. And do the English awards.
So there's 2 awards tonight. When I ask students at the beginning of the year what they're passionate about, whenever I get the writing response, I'm a little skeptical. This student has time and again proven herself a skilled writer. As a junior in my AP Literature class last year, she, along with her peers, struggled to come up with compelling and sophisticated points to write about. While her peers continue to falter, she pushed herself to become a better writer. I've never awarded a student a perfect essay score until last year. Previous AP rubric criteria stated that in order for a student to be awarded a perfect score, their essay must, quote, be magical at times. Through her perseverance, hard work, and attention to detail, she was able to write a magical essay, and to this date has been the only student I've ever awarded a perfect 9 out of 9 on the essay. While some may see her quest for perfection as limiting, the fact that she was able to actually achieve it warrants this award, and the award goes to Christina Fricker. This second student also defined their passion as writing, but while most students define their passion as writing and don't actually follow through with it, this student has actually published several novels. This student's enthusiasm for discussion in her AP language class and in my classes is unprecedented. She's always prepared to offer a sophisticated point of view. Her stance is always logical, well-researched, and refreshing. As a result of her refreshing enthusiasm for class discussion, she inspires her peers to also think critically and join in on the conversation. While her penchant for sitting on desks can annoy, her passion for literature is literally head and shoulders above her peers. She will definitely represent AMSA well next year at George Washington, and her enthusiasm will continue to inspire and impress. Shivanka, you're welcome.
Now to present the Excellence in History Award, I'd like to invite up Miss Brianna Murphy.
Got the best gifts right here. Just let you know. All right. As you guys all know, history teachers tend to be some very nerdy people. Whether it's keeping cutouts of historic figures in their classrooms, wearing t-shirts or dressing up as historic figures, or naming their children after historical figures, we genuinely love what we do. So it's always a joy when a student walks through our doors who shares that same passion. This award goes to a student who has exemplified that passion for history inside and outside of the classroom. Whether it is through the upper level AP classes, like AP GoPo and APUSH that the student has enrolled in, or the outside activities in which the student participates, the history department could think of no better recipient than this student who models leadership, community, and civic engagement, who has chosen to enter the field of history and politics, who researches such topics as the death penalty and feminism, and writes her college admissions essay on the Declaration of Independence. For this reason, the History Award goes to Lydia Bick.
Excellence in Mathematics Awards, Mr. Tom Azzarito.
Hi. There will be 2 awards. They are called book awards in mathematics, and the prize is a book. They are tied to the most extraordinary and impressive achievement through AMSA's curriculum in mathematics, from 9th grade through 12th, with particular weight in the last 2 years, where they have a chance to truly do extraordinary things. It was very competitive this year. It was a lot of debate, and it was not an easy choice. So I would want to say to these 2 people that it's a genuine distinction to be the ones who get called up here. And I hope that you continue doing in the future what earned you this award here today. I will follow them in alphabetical order, since we have no other criterion beyond being 2 human beings who really, really tried hard at math to succeed. The first is a student I had early on at AMSA in 9th and 10th grade. Not afterwards, but I've kept track of how she's been doing, and her teachers have said they are highly impressed with how she keeps growing, persevering, and the kindness and geniality she brings to the classes in which they have her as a student. It is with great pleasure that I call Natalie Lewis to come up. It's always the trouble with math. You agree to start on the left or on the right. Right after Natalie is the other recipient. I did have also in 9th and 10th grade, and also this year, so I think he tolerated my classes this year with a high dose of chagrin. He is a wonderful student who has kept going deeper and broader, always surpassing what previously had thought to be his limitations. He and Natalie, I think, will be people who will hold their families and themselves and our school we will be glad that they are out there representing us, and that they will honor themselves and their family and hopefully reflect something upon us. I'd like to call Anton Machkasov. I'd like to call Mr. David Morgan.
All right, good evening, everybody. I didn't write anything down, and I kind of regret that now. Mr. Amaral asked me to speak, though, so I'm here. I'd like to say to the parents, congratulations, because I feel like your kids are great. To you seniors, I got to know you last year, because I had some of you in class. I got to know more of you in homeroom, and I just feel very fortunate that I got to do that. We, as a department, put our heads together to come up with the Excellence in Wellness Award. This person, and I'm going to try and do this as best I can, and I'll probably goof up, but this person has all the qualities we like. They're kind of intangible qualities in a way for wellness. People look up to them. This individual is a leader. This person just treats everyone with respect, no matter if they're, like weak, strong, good, bad, whatever. And I'm forgetting something. Sorry. Oh, and this person participates in phys ed with gusto. I And as you get older, that's kind of hard to do. But don't worry, because even though you're too cool to play capture the gator ball now, it'll come back, and you'll want to run around again. This person participated almost to the point of making me nervous, because this individual, I did have a vested interest in their health, and I didn't want them to jam a finger during tennis season. So the Excellence in Wellness Award goes to Lauren Haley. Ms. Kate Driver will be up next.
Hi. So I have never had the pleasure of giving an Excellence in School Counseling Award. And so the first thing I said, well, what does that really mean, Excellence in School Counseling? So we decided this year that we would like to recognize 2 students who've done a fantastic job navigating high school, but also the college admissions and financial aid process. There's so much to do, there's so many things to keep track of, and we see a lot of students that work through things on their own and figure things out, but these students also use their resources well and ask good questions when they came upon something that they just weren't sure about. So on behalf of Mrs. Morrissey and Mrs. Benson and myself and the other counselors here at AMSA that you've worked with over the years, we would like to recognize these students with gift cards to the colleges, the college bookstores at the colleges they'll be attending this year. All right, history department. So we would like to recognize Lillian Musad and Adrian Jimenez Lara. Okay, and next up, Dr. Lewis.
All right, the next award is the National Merit Scholarship finalist, and as all of you can see there, the student was among 16,000 semifinalists named in September and proceeded to meet all requirements to advance to finalist standing in the competition by demonstrating distinguished performance and high potential for future academic accomplishment. Each year, only about 3% of the 1.5 million National Merit Scholarship entrants become finalists. It's quite an achievement. And this year's finalist is Julia Sloan. And next up is the John and Abigail Adams Scholars. I won't read that whole text there, other than to know that the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship provides a tuition waiver for up to 8 semesters of undergraduate education at Massachusetts State College or University. 64 of our seniors met the eligibility requirement, which was 63% of our class. So congratulations to all the seniors who earned the John and Abigail Adams Scholarship. And next up, scholarship presentation by the PTO, Ms. Latier and Ms. Osmond.
So throughout the school year, the AMSA PTO runs a Spare Change fundraiser with the tagline of Change in AMSA Students' Future. Thanks to that effort and the generosity of our AMSA community, we are able to offer 3 scholarships in the amount of $1,000 each to our AMSA seniors. Facilitated by the guidance department and ultimately reviewed by a panel of parents, parents without students in the senior class, the scholarship is given based on character, community involvement, and academic achievement.
Our first recipient has a passion for social justice. From their work trying to address and stop stereotyping, prejudice, and discrimination, to their work on the UNICEF Women's Day Conference, this person realized that inaction is the worst enemy anyone can have. This person has dreamt big dreams and hopes that someday they can turn their dreams into something that helps those in need. They're not afraid of the obstacles in front of them and know that while someone is bound to say no, reaching out until someone says yes is worthwhile. These are their words, by the way. We are honored to give this scholarship to the president of the UNICEF Club, the vice president of National Honor Society, and secretary of speech and debate, Lydia Pagano. Our second winner doesn't recognize themselves as a leader. They're a doer. They learned the benefit of learning from life. They've been helped by society, and in turn gave back more than they ever received, and in turn gained countless life lessons. They know the benefit of a silent job well done, and how happiness can lead to a higher GPA, and not necessarily the other way around. While this person doesn't define themselves as a leader, we have no doubt that their countless hours of work and listening at the food bank have impacted many lives for the better, and they've made the world a better place. Congratulations, Richard Chang. Our final winner accumulated almost a month worth of volunteering hours over the last 4 years. While succeeding academically, this student also prides themselves on giving back to the society that raised them. This student wrote of the cycle of volunteering that is necessary to survive. They wanted to be part of the inspiration for a new generation of volunteers. And as the National Honor Society president, Spanish Club and Spanish National Honor Society vice president, Ecology Club founder, Leaders of Tomorrow co-president, and Shooting for the Stars co-founder, she already is proud to award AMSA's last PTO scholarship to Siobhan Gagnon. The next person is Mr. Bill Hopkins, who will be announcing the Massachusetts ELF Scholarship.
Thank you for inviting me here. Dr. Lewis, I think this microphone is just right. The rest of us have not had a problem with this microphone. If I might take a page out of Dr. Lewis's talk earlier about how hard the parents have worked for the last so many years to get the students here to where they are today. Can I ask all the students to stand up, please? I'd like you to give a round of applause to your parents. Okay, they'll applaud you later. I'm the president of the Massachusetts ELF Scholarship, Inc. We hand out scholarships from Provincetown to Williamstown to Pittsfield. This year we gave out 586 scholarships, and I'm fortunate enough that 3 of them came out of AMSA. Kate and I worked really hard over the last few weeks to get this thing straightened out. And I do have 3 of them, And I'd like to give him these special awards to Lauren Haley, Lydia David, Danielle Plum. And I guess I'm supposed to introduce Miss Monique Brown.
Good evening, everyone. The Friends of Art and Music Education at AMSA is proud to offer an inaugural scholarship, and we have decided that this scholarship will honor 2 seniors who have excelled in the arts. Recipients were chosen for demonstrating the following characteristics: leadership, consistently demonstrating leadership skills in art, drama, or music-oriented settings. Dedication, demonstrates an outstanding commitment to an art and/or music program at AMSA. Challenges oneself to continually improve. Demonstrates technical skill through perseverance and practice. Community, shows participation in arts endeavors outside the school. This year's Fame Scholarship Award winners are 1, an actor, musician, MC at AMSA community meetings with the name of Sam Frechette. The second recipient is an actor, musician, costume design, visual artist, is in the a cappella group, and excels at dance. The second recipient is Owen Clark. And the next person that will come up to present an award will be Miss Kate Driver.
All right. Sorry, get my envelopes in order. So, the first scholarship that I'll be presenting is the Middlesex Savings Bank Award. So the student who's receiving this award needed to live in a certain area that Middlesex Savings Bank serves. I won't name all the towns because it's a lot. But they also needed to show growth and commitment to their studies. And so we are really pleased to honor growth and excellence this year in Patrick Langton. Next up, lots of people have lots of things going on this time of year, so it's okay. So next up, we have 2 awards sponsored by St. Mary's Credit Union. Again, we're really lucky to have a great relationship with St. Mary's. Many of you seniors will remember folks coming in from St. Mary's to talk with you a bit about financial aid and all kinds of other things in senior seminar this year. So we are thrilled to honor character, community involvement, and academic achievement with these 2 awards. The first recipient is Larissa Antunes. And And the second recipient this evening is Christina Vinsky. And then I have two more scholarships that are not in the program tonight. And they are from the Sataraj family. They would like to present two scholarships. The first is the Dr. Bagorad Memorial Scholarship to Christopher Hamill. Scholarship I have to present is the Barclay Wattis Memorial Scholarship. We have a relative in our graduating class this year, and we are excited to present this award to Max Hooker. Is there anyone else that's here to present this evening? We had one other person who we weren't sure if their committee was going to be meeting at time. Looks like no. Then I have another fun announcement. If you're missing your keys, your car keys, they are at the front desk. It's a big lanyard, maybe a Y tag, so check for your keys. We also have some cookies out front at the end of the evening. We're not quite there yet, but I was asked to let people know. So. Without further ado, I would like to hand over to Mr. Mike Naraki.
I'm glad no one left for the cookies. Okay, so I'm here tonight, just that, to announce, it's quite an honor for me to be up here actually, to announce the Eagle Award here at AMSA. It's known as the most prestigious award. I was discussing it with Dr. Lewis when I first walked in. That's the first thing he said. He said the Eagle Award is the most prestigious award that we have here for our senior class. So I just want to lay out, I guess, my lesson plan. I think I might go a little bit longer than everybody else did by a couple minutes, but I want to make sure I cover a few things regarding the recipient. So I want to talk about our three newly established core values here at AMSA. I'm going to share two stories about the recipient that popped into my mind immediately when I knew that I would be announcing this award, and then share a couple other general observations and experiences I've had working with this student over the last 7 years. So first off, our three new core values, newly established core values are integrity, community, and excellence. So the first one, modeling integrity, to me, what that means is someone who has an internal consistency of always doing the right thing when people are looking and when people are not looking. Always doing what is right and just always staying true to themselves. That's what that means to me. The next one, excellence. Excellence to me is being outstanding in everything that you do. And that doesn't mean, being number one in your class. It doesn't mean getting straight A's on your report cards. It doesn't mean being a 1,000-point scorer in basketball, scoring the most goals in soccer. Excellence to me has to do with effort and constantly grinding every day and giving 120% into every commitment that you've made. Next is community. Fostering a community is how it's worded in our newly established core values. And fostering community means promoting a good community, being an individual who holds others accountable and can be held accountable to do what they need to do to contribute to the greater good of the AMSA community. So I just wanted to lay that out real quick because I think the two stories I'm about to share and some other observations and experiences throughout the years really will connect. The student connects very closely to these values. The first story, I was actually talking to this student very recently, so they will know who they are very quickly. I was in my office just the other day reminiscing about this with this senior. First time I met this student was in 8th, well, I take that back. I met all of these students when they were in 6th grade technically, but the first time I really got to meet the student was 8th grade. At the time I was the dean of students for the school, so I was dealing with student discipline, student issues, student attendance issues, things like that. I'm sure that you all remember that, and I'm sure you're glad that I'm not in that role anymore. But I was at the time, that we had an interim assistant principal. His name was Mr. Rick Porter, and I was in his office. Yep, you guys remember him, that's good. So I was in Mr. Porter's office, and we had to look into an 8th grade issue. It wasn't anything too major, wasn't really too minor either. Something we had to look into. I'm not going to go into the details, but we had to interview and discuss a lot of things with a lot of different 8th grade students. Based on something that happened, I think it was actually off school grounds, but it got brought into the school community. So we had to address it. We looked into it and talked to many 8th graders. Had to issue some consequences that were earned to particular students, etc. So that was, I would say, in the middle of the school day. Toward the end of the day, as I normally did with Mr. Porter, we would debrief at the end of the day and discuss just what happened. So we were in there in his office discussing the day, and a knock came at the door, and we look over. It's an 8th grade student with this, typical 8th grade student, huge binder, backpack, asked if she could talk to us real quick about something. And we knew who the student was, we knew her name, so we said, yeah, sure, come on in. We didn't know what it was about. And suddenly this binder, this magical binder, I don't remember how big it was exactly, it sort of plops onto the table that was in his office and opens up. And the student starts talking about these interviews that we conducted with these 8th grade students, that issue. This student was not involved in any way, but as I found out very quickly, in that binder was not math, homework, history notes, it was the student handbook. For a 13-year-old or 14-year-old, I'm not sure exactly how old she was at the time, but it was one of the most professional and kind conversations that I've probably had in that sort of situation before. It was quite amazing. Reciting lines from the handbook, bringing up rules, asking why so-and-so got this consequence, but so-and-so didn't get this, and it says this in the handbook. So we had a very nice discussion. I felt like I was talking to, a 25-year-old. And the student walked out of the office, and I'll never forget, I said to Mr. Porter, I was like, I have a feeling that I'm going to get to know that student a lot better when she enters into high school. And I wasn't thinking for disciplinary reasons, of course. I was thinking about student government and leadership opportunities. I have no idea if her friends know that she went in there that day to even speak on their behalf. So that's one quick story. Another one, sorry, I know it'll take a little while. Another one was just this year. I know this student drives her little brothers to school every day. I'm pretty sure every day. And I don't want to go into too many details, but our dean of students for the lower school, Mr. Amaral, had to talk to her youngest sibling, her youngest brother. Because he was late to school quite often, and usually when a 6th grader is late to school, Mr. Amaral likes to check in with them and see if anything's going on. Maybe they're having trouble with their locker or something like that. They're brand new to the school. Mr. Amaral let me know, again, this was at the very beginning of the year, he told me that this student's older sister came in and said, Mr. Amaral, don't put this on him, put this on me. I'm the one who drives him here every day. Give him another chance. I'll take the blame for this one. Give him another shot. Which, I have a sister who happens to be 6 years older than me, and thankfully I never had to go to the same school as her, but I don't think she would have ever done that for me. And maybe that's just, I don't know if anybody, hopefully most people agree with that, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. So those are two quick stories right there. Speaking up for others, when trying to be that voice for people who may not want to speak up, may not have the courage at that point to speak up. That's what I noticed right away. And just some general observations and experiences. I'll try and keep this short, but this student I know has had challenges outside of school, but with that, I know that last summer, for instance, every day, 5 days a week during the summer, commuted to Cambridge to Harvard Law School and served as a research assistant. The student wants to become a lawyer, I'm not surprised at all, after she earns her bachelor's degree. This student has co-hosted every single community meeting that we've had at AMSA. Miss Lindsay brought those into the school last year. She's been the co-host for every single one. This student I know that she's into skating, figure skating. Works at the figure skating rink. She, I believe, is an avid dancer as well. Jumped into that. Was on the cross country team. One day, I live in Marlboro. This student does not live in Marlboro. Lives in Clinton. I was on my way home picking up something for my wife at a Rite Aid in Marlboro, and I see this student there who doesn't even live in Marlboro. I'm like, how are you doing this? We just had a student government meeting, I think, and you're already here before me. What's going on? Just work ethic, commitment. And again, like I said, I know that she dealt with challenges outside of school, but I would challenge any teacher or any other student to tell me a time where she did not arrive to AMSA with a positive attitude and put in a true 100% effort every single day. And when I say positive attitude, I mean, I've never heard anyone say anything negative about this student. The student's always, at least, she must hide it well, but she's always in a good mood. Always, and is always engaging with others. And just the last thing, she served as our student government president this year, and at those meetings, she is not there for any personal agenda. She's not there to try and get something out of, the administration or change policies and things like that. She empowers others to speak. She's truly empathetic. And I've been reading a lot of books on leadership lately. One of them by James Blanchard. He talks about high-performing organizations. In one section, he mentions something called servant leadership, which is where you sort of reverse roles, and the leader truly is there to serve their employees and empower them and give them a voice. And it creates a true community of caring and justice and just true communication. And she may not realize it, but I think that she already possesses most of those skills, and she'll continue to hone those skills. I won't be surprised if this student is our school attorney someday that we work with. I won't be surprised if she's running a business someday. I won't be surprised if she's running a school someday as an executive director, honestly. I won't be surprised by anything that she does. So without further ado, Amelia Marsari.
And for our final award, the Kia Kahad Award, I'd like to re-invite up Dr. Lewis.
All right, well, settle in for a couple minutes because I got a paper clip on mine. I'm going to be here for a minute. So first, I guess I would like to say, Amelia, I don't know what I would have done without you for the last few years. You got a little piece of my heart with you, honey. And she has been everything that Mr. Naraki has said, and has brought light and joy into each one of our lives. So thank you. And we have an Eagle Award that has all the Eagle Awards that have been given. And your little name tag has already been made, so Ms. Riches is working on that. So it will be forever with us here at AMSA. I'd like to thank Mr. Naraki for all the work that he's done with the student government. He's been doing this for years, and I think the senior class can definitely agree that he's done a fantastic job with our student government and our students, so thank you. I would also like to just take a second and thank Bethany Barlini and Christy for the wonderful leadership that they have given to our senior class too as the senior class advisors. They've done a fantastic job. Okay, so here we go. I really do have multiple pages, and one of the things that Dr. Lewis has taught me in the last last 15 months is to use really large font because we can't see anymore, so here we go. All right, so I love this time of year. Really, throughout my career in education, the end of the year senior activities has always been my favorite. It's so exhilarating to be able to share in your joy and the excitement as we all celebrate you and your achievements. Sure. You've already graduated, you're ready to go, you haven't already, but you're ready to graduate from AMSA, and this is a significant achievement in and of itself. But you've also gone above and beyond in your studies, in your extracurricular activities, and in your service to others. You are amazing, and we stand in awe of you each and every day. Tonight, I have the distinct honor of presenting the Kia Kaha Award. But before I do, I'd like to give you first a little explanation of the meaning and the significance of the award, and then tell you a little bit about the student who will be presented with the award tonight. I was first introduced to the idea of Kia Kaha by our very own Dr. Lewis. Yes, I am a #1 fan. Anyone who has ever had Dr. Lewis as a teacher, or has spoken to him, or ever heard him speak publicly, or even in the hallways, has heard the phrase, Kia Kaha. But what does it mean? And what can and should it mean in our lives? When I first started working with Dr. Lewis, I was unfamiliar with the phrase, and I didn't understand its significance. But after 15 months of working by his side, I most certainly do now. Kia Kaha is a New Zealand affirmation which originated during the time of World War II, and nowadays is often used as a motto, which means stay strong. Stay strong as in when life gets you down. Stay strong when you feel like you can't take another step forward or face the next challenge. Stay strong when it all feels just too hard. Stay strong when you feel defeated or sad or scared. Stay strong when it feels like life has taken more from you than you have to give. Stay strong in the face of adversity and challenges in your life, because life is rarely without challenges. We need to Kia Kaha every day, and we need to help each other to Kia Kaha too. Dr. Lewis has taught hundreds of students how to Kia Kaha, and he has taught me how to Kia Kaha. It has become a phrase that we use often when things get challenging, or when at times we feel so tired or so discouraged that it's difficult to even think about the next day. Forget about the next week, month, or year. This isn't just a cute little phrase that he throws around. This is the way that he lives his life. This is his award, and together we will present it to a student we feel that has shown the spirit of Kia Kaha over the past 4 years. Someone who has shown true grit in the face of adversity and through the challenges life has presented. This student's story is not mine to share, but I will talk about what I have witnessed over the past 3 years. As a school counselor, I've worked with hundreds of students over the years. Each one has had their own story, their own challenges, and their own successes. Being able to be a small part of their lives, of their story, was what I loved the most. Sometimes, kind, supportive, compassionate words were enough to heal a student's heart, calm a fear, or encourage them to stand up and try again, or at least long enough to get them through their next class. The best we can do is put on a temporary Band-Aid on a wound and hope that it will hold for a little while. Sometimes there's nothing that you can say, no words that are good enough to heal. All you can do is love and try to be supportive, and that is all I could offer to this student, because there was nothing that I or anyone else could say that would fix it. I wasn't sure she'd make it through the 10th grade or the 11th. I sure hoped that she would, but there were no guarantees, and it was painful to watch her suffer. After that year, my position changed at the school, and others took my place in this student's life. But from afar, I watched, and I witnessed a miracle. Deep from within herself, she found the fortitude and the courage to push through the challenges and overcome them. It wasn't easy. Those kinds of things never are, but they are always worth it. Where doubt and fear once lived, I started to see confidence grow, and then happiness and joy took over. This year I had the privilege to work with this student again through the Principal's Council. She was an active contributor to the group, and her input was invaluable to all of us. It was so fun to get the chance to talk with her again and see how much she had grown. Being able to witness the being able to witness the changes in her life and get to know the outstanding young woman that she has become has been a blessing in my life. She is an inspiration to me and to all that know her. Dr. Lewis, could you join me on the stage? This year, Dr. Lewis and I would like to present the Kia Kaha Award to Christina Fricker. Okay, so up until 4:30 this morning, I was going to make that my final remarks and just thank you all for coming. But strange things happen to your mind at 4:30 in the morning, and I didn't go to sleep until about 11:30, so I'm working on short numbers here. So at 4:30, I decided maybe there was something else that I could say, some parting thoughts to share with all of you before you head off into the big, wide world. And I think maybe what I want to share with you, and I'll just take another minute of your time. So it was a crazy day today. And it was a crazy day that I never would have gotten through, like many, without my team. And so I think what I want to, my parting thoughts to you, I'm going to go back for a second. When I was interviewed at AMSA, second interview, I met with a group of students, class of 2016, most of them great kids. And I remember their big introduction to me was to tell me how competitive all of you are. We're so competitive. We compete over everything, and it sounded kind of cutthroat and kind of, yeah. Okay, all right. So I think competition is a wonderful thing. I happen to be very competitive, especially when it comes to things like the Red Sox and the Patriots. Yeah. Okay, so my teammate here and I collaborate on absolutely everything. That sports we do not agree on, but everything else we share. And so I think that if there's one thing that I would like you to take away from AMSA is that competition is great. It can be a lot of fun. It's great when we're doing quiz bowl or when we're on math team and like we're winning and all of that. And competition in the classroom and urging each other on to be really great. But one of the things that I would like to encourage you, especially as you go out into the world, is the idea of really being part of a team and collaborating. I was talking to Mr. Naraki last week, and he was talking about being part of a team, and he asked me if I had ever played a sport, and I didn't answer him. I kind of skirted around it. Well, I went to a high school where girls weren't even allowed to take physical education classes, so we've come a long way, ladies. And so no, I didn't play a sport. I learned about being on a team with my family, creating a family, and that family unit became my first real team, right? We become a parent. And then I went into school counseling and was at another charter school, and I was a part of a really great team there. But there's nothing in the world like having the opportunity that we have to be part of the AMSA team. The teachers, our families, our community, in particular, Mr. Naraki and Dr. Lewis. What I learned and what I've learned is that we can do anything if we have a team with us. that we're part of a team, that we build off each other's talents, that we learn from each other, that we support each other, that we trust each other, that we're loyal to each other, and that if you find yourselves in a highly functioning team, you can conquer anything. You can do anything. And so although we've taught you all to compete, find your people, find your team. Make sure that it's people who you can trust, people that have your back, people that you can support and they support you. Learn from each other, play to each other's strengths, right? That's what it's all about. So I think what you're gonna find when you go out into the college world, when you go out into the workplace, is that although we've taught you to compete and maybe in ways that weren't particularly healthy, when you go out into the real world, it's all about collaboration and working together. And I know that I wouldn't make it through any day of the week, ever, and I certainly wouldn't be standing here with you tonight without my team. Because I respect, I love, and I appreciate them and their strengths and what they bring to the team. We work together with everything at AMSA, and that's where how we've gotten where we are today. So take that as your lesson as you go forward. Find your people, find your team. Learn how to collaborate, learn how to be kind to people. And that is gonna get you where you wanna go in the future. So we love you guys, congratulations. Now, I don't know, I've mixed up all my pages. Okay, on behalf of the 12th grade advisors and the AMSA teachers and administrators, we would like to thank you for joining us this evening. Congratulations to our seniors. We can't wait for graduation on Friday, June 8th, and we will see you then.